Hello, everybody. How are we doing? Welcome back to another UNCW broadcast. First things first, we would like to thank Carolina Game Summit for this collaboration. They're providing some of our equipment here. It is wonderful of them to do that. Tonight, we
Sweet.
have a great Valorant game coming up. 5v5 tac shooter. Not my best thing. Rich, my co-commentator here, you want to tell me a little bit about it?
About Valorant in
Come
general?
on. Yeah.
Sure, why not? It's a competitive 5v5 shooter. You have your initiators, you have your duelists, and then you have your controllers. Those are your three big ones that you're going to be looking at on the field. For most of the action, we'll probably be watching our duelists. I myself, whenever I do play, which is very rare in Valorant, is as an initiator, Sova in particular. I like my little bow lad. He's got cool eyes and a cool hairstyle, and honestly, pardon my French, a sick ass bow. And I'm not that good. I'm mostly dog water at the game, but that's the gist of what you'll be seeing here tonight, folks. Is two teams of five duking it out, primarily UNCW and Kettering Blue. We're hoping for UNCW, obviously, to take the W as we are here promoting them, obviously.
Yeah,
It wouldn't
yeah.
make much sense to cheer on Kettering Blue, but I don't have a dog in this fight, pun intended, Kettering, as we get
Uh,
things set up and situated. Robin, how are you feeling this evening?
I'm feeling good. It's looking like a decisive UNCW victory.
Mm.
We're well, they're 5-1 right now. Kettering is 2-4. So if we're going off of just that, I haven't been keeping up too much with their either of their seasons, but with the information I have, we have three
Mhm.
immortals. Um, it's looking like a pretty decent chance for us. We have, speaking of our immortals, we have N Crane, that's Nick, our flex player. At Seacurse, that's my man Kavi, another immortal player. He's our duelist. We'll see him a lot. And Owen, our initiator, and he's a sentinel as well. Um, and then we have two diamond players as well. We have Brodo Baggins, Broderick. He's a controller player. And Philosium, Elliot, sentinel and controller player. A little bit of a both there.
Mhm. You get the best of both worlds. You want to make sure that when you're playing comp, especially at the collegiate level or just any level of competitive esports, that you have a well-rounded squad. Primarily with Valorant, you see two duelists, two controllers, and then one initiator. Initiators, you're going to see grab most of that early information. That's again going towards Sova. They have that I forget the exact name for it, but his little
Recon Dart,
recon
yeah.
arrow. There we go, recon dart. Thank you, saving me there. The recon dart can be a game changer, getting that early info to set up your duelists and controllers for success.
Yeah, and well, I've heard there are three likely map picks today. We got Bind, Haven, and Abyss. Abyss is our
Mm.
newest little addition to the map pool. Um, Personally, one of my favorite maps. I've seen a lot of people not like it at all, but I'm hoping for it. It's one of my favorite maps. You can do some dumb stuff with it.
Mhm.
It's like Astra heavy meta on that stuff, which is always great to see. I love Astra as a character. But
Mhm.
yeah, Bind, Haven, and Abyss are our likely picks. It'll be interesting to see what's going to be picked and banned in this. I'm not
Yeah.
entirely sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's really up to the players, and as far as I can tell, Bind is just such an annoying map in my opinion, and same with Abyss. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm a Call of Duty player at heart, so making the transition to
Ooh.
Valorant or even attempting to play Valorant on some nights is just the struggle is real to say the least for those of you watching at home. Um, and I will do my best to take my COD brain rot out and focus on Valorant. I know some people are very particular about what FPS they play and what is talked about on the scene, but we're just here to have a good time, and hopefully you do as well.
Yeah. You been liking Black Ops 6?
Oh, immensely so. It's incredible. The Omni movement is
Oh,
interesting to say the least, and the head glitching can be a bit spammy and annoying,
well.
but either way, we will figure it out and hopefully lock in for when season 1 drops. But we're not here to talk about Black Ops 6.
Oh,
This
yeah,
is
yeah.
Valorant time. This is supposed to be focused on staying at one horizontal level so you can get precise headshots, and then you tap 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 your automatic weapon, because automatic weapons can't be shot full auto in this game, or the you risk the chance of not getting a perfect headshot every single time. So just see our one taps, let's get our corner peeks, and hopefully everyone uses their abilities at the right time, because there's an assorted amount of abilities that can be wombo comboed into perfect Valorant perfection, like a symphony at a grand music hall, all playing together at once. Or it can be a disaster, like the New York subway line being flooded during a horrible storm. It's just not good when your teammates aren't synced up. But with UNCW sitting at 5-1, they're obviously doing something right.
Yeah, they're looking great this season. I've just been told they are currently doing map bans right now, so we should be getting into
Mhm.
this soon. I really hope we'll be able to get some information on what maps are being banned right now. That'd be wonderful. But obviously, we'll
Yeah,
see it when we start up the first map. It's looking
absolutely.
like the start of a great day, great night. It's the end of the day, but
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. We are in the later stages of the day, also known as the evening, folks, not to be confused. Either way, what do you think is the go-to strategy for UNCW to really to keep their winning season afloat? They don't want to fall to 5-2, obviously. What do they have to do here? What's the recipe for success for UNCW?
I think you stick to what's solid, right? Uh,
Hmm.
if you have stuff that's worked in the past, you keep going back to it. And I mean, we have these great immortal players. If that doesn't work, they know how to adapt. They can switch it up on the fly, and that's something that's really important in Valorant too. Is even being
Hmm.
able to switch up the plan halfway through one of the rounds. We're planning a execute, but they have
Hmm.
util on A that maybe some cipher util on A. We don't really want to play into that. We can rotate,
Hmm.
C, go somewhere there. It's always good to be able to have that. The word slipped my mind. Be able to switch it up like that and get it. Get be adaptable. That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah,
Got
they're
it.
gonna be adaptable. That's the winning strategy.
Yeah, I would have to agree with you there. Just knowing from my experience with codcasting, it's taking mid game adjustments and utilizing them to great effect. It's being able to realize what are these commonalities that players keep finding themselves in, what routes are they taking, who likes to peek what corners, what guns they like to buy, so on and so forth. It's finding those, because regardless of who you are or how often you play, you have your ticks essentially, what you like to do on repeat essentially. What's your go-to strat? What's your go-to move? Your go-to gun, and just learn from that. And as long as UNCW, the team, has done their research, or at least has been practicing in pubs matches, or just in the regular comp matches, not necessarily one streamed, they'll be just fine. Being able to utilize those, as we said, playing into that adaptability, and hopefully landing on their feet and taking the W.
Yeah, and well, you can only be so adaptable. I do expect we're gonna see Kavi, or just that's Sea Curse. Sea Curse is
Hmm.
probably gonna be he's one of our duelists. We're gonna put up. I'm gonna guess Jet. Of a bit, we've seen a little bit of Raze throughout the seasons,
Hmm.
and Crane probably on one of those info finding agents, something like Sky, maybe KO.
Yeah.
But Nick's a flex player, so if we get one of those weird maps like Abyss, we might see him
Mhm.
split it up a little bit.
Yeah, you never really know. What I always try to stress to people and players of any operator, legend type game where you have all these wild and crazy abilities and you can do all these sorts of different things. It's finding who you're comfortable with. Who's your go-to, who's your can be, I'm going to have at least a decent game. I'm not necessarily going to have a great game, but I know consistency with this character, with this operator, so on and so forth. You know how to use their ults, their secondary abilities, you know how to use their movement, so on and so forth. Whatever you're running, make sure that you can be consistent with it, cuz Yeah, you can pop off
Oh
with,
yeah.
your alternative character, your sub character if something gets banned or someone gets taken or what have you. But either way, whomever you are most consistent with is who you should pick, at least in my humble opinion.
Oh yeah. And well, even a little on the flip side of that, at the
Hmm.
very, I think personally, I think at the very end of the day, it all comes down to if I hit that headshot before you throw that nade at me, you die
Hmm.
anyway. So
Yeah.
that gunplay is super important as well, and it's not like every character has different gunplay. Yeah, you
Hmm.
could know every Sova lineup in the world, but if I tap you as you're swinging, that's game. It's have it, being able to get that gunplay in consistently. And Valorant has,
Hmm.
I'm a CS player. I'll be honest with you. We have the same gripe about not being able to spam automatic weapons.
Hmm.
Um, but
I just
right, yeah,
neither here nor
yeah.
there. I try not to hold any inherent biases, but like all humans, I have them. But going back to what you're saying about gunplay and getting those trades, that is what's so important as well. Especially in a game in a 5v5 and in a search and destroy or bomb plant situation. If you can get your kill, get your one, it just keeps things even for your team. It doesn't tilt the scales in their favor. Or for your teammates are there to back you up and get those trades. That's what's going to be really important is how teams respond to that kind of mid-game adversity, and it goes back to the
Mhm.
adaptability. How can how is a team going to handle a 2v4 or a 3v5, so on and so forth? Those come into play at every stage of the game and quite possibly in every round, especially in the earlier rounds. People got low money, don't necessarily have all all abilities and every attribute at their dispense. And when you start to compound that, you start to take up more losses. You get less money per round. You can't necessarily buy full armor. You have to go half to get the gun you want, and you have to make those mid round changes on the fly. Being able to do that and doing so quickly allows you to get set up and allows hopefully one team to have the advantage despite the other team necessarily having better gear, better weapons and whatnot. If you're able to have that adaptability and make the most of it, you set yourself up for success regardless.
Yeah, it's going to be a really interesting fight. Hopefully, we're
Hmm.
starting in just a few minutes here. But I think we're going to. No, I believe they're still in bands. Never mind.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, running out of little things to talk about. I gotta
We got
think.
plenty to talk about. I don't know what you're going on, Robin, but there is never not enough to talk about, especially with video games and especially with Valorant, one of the biggest games in the esports scene, regardless of where you're playing, who you're playing against. Valorant is a mainstay. It burst onto the scene a couple
Mm,
years back and has been a mainstay for a reason. One, people really enjoy the competitive play. Two, it has bright colors and expensive skin packs and an incredible comp scene, which is supported all the way from the amateurs to worlds to internationally, everything. There is multiple layers to it, like an ogre or an onion. And that's what makes it so beautiful. That's what makes esports so beautiful. Is starting to see like UNCW, like other collegiate sports, it's starting to get more recognition, starting to get college credit for playing video games, starting to get scholarships for playing
yeah,
video games. It is incredible what has become of the esports scene just through Valorant. We're not even talking about like Rocket League, Apex, Halo, Call of Duty, all the
right.
others. Valorant is just another caveat, and you can start to see. Granted, there's always going to be money involved with any competitive sport, but with esports, it's slowly on the emergence, and hopefully, more mainstream media, as well as more mainstream colleges and just places around the world, start to recognize esports as a valuable career path, and not just only as a player, but shout out to our production team, shout out to ourselves as casters. There are multiple avenues that you can take in the esports scene, whether it be as a player, a producer, you're a game manager, you are a team manager, so on. And so there's just so many different facets of the scene that we're incredibly thankful for. Just as myself as a caster, that one Valorant has brought, and two that so many other video games have brought onto the scene. So when you say there's not a lot to talk about, there is
You're right.
infinite things to talk about, especially with Valorant. Going back to it, Kettering Esports has a massive, massive hill to climb. They're sitting at a not too pretty record. If I check our notes at 2-4, sitting at well below the 500 line. And UNCW has been on a dominant roll at 5-1. Taking only one loss on the season is no easy task, especially in Valorant, where rounds can take forever, where games can take forever. To have that patience and fortitude to continue to dominate like they have is nonetheless impressive. I've been ranting and raving. I got to ask you one more question before we hop into things. What does UNCW got to do to try and take down this, or excuse me, what does Kettering Esports have to do to take down this UNCW squad?
Well, we do have some news. I believe we have map bans coming on in. We have, I believe it's
Yay.
Sunset and Split banned. We're going into Abyss first. It should be interesting.
Mhm.
And map 2 is going to be Haven. Yes, going to be
Very
Haven.
fun.
Uh, and
Good
then,
to know. Good to know.
yeah. And, well, we're on the topic of esports. You did mention Rocket League. I do have to shout out UNCW Esports went to LAN just this weekend and took home the silver place medal, just barely beat out by USC in the grand finals. But we are, yeah, they got second place. I got to see their little silver medal hanging up in their gaming
Mhm.
lab today. I'm lucky to be on site for our casting tonight. I'm having a lot of fun.
Wonderful.
Um, and UNCW, they're a really great place for esports. They got
Wonderful.
a esports
Love
certificate
it. Love it. Love it.
that's in for right now. It's about 15 credit hours. You get broadcast training. It covers management, talent. They have a really great gaming lab set up there. They have a bunch of PCs set up. It's open
Might have to go back
from
to school.
Monday to Friday. Yeah, Monday, Friday, 2:30 to 7. Um, if you're a
Gotta
player,
get your
you get
in.
paid there. That's pretty nice.
Yeah,
Um,
that's incredible.
yeah.
That's really awesome to hear. I'm excited to see that colleges are starting to support. Like, I mean, I'm going to stand up on my soapbox again, but I'm just happy to see colleges supporting esports players, especially in the younger generation who have a lot of their lives and a lot of their friends and time are tied to video games. I mean, I've met people through Call of Duty, and I've been friends with them for 4 years and known them for longer than that, and it's just so incredible how video games are able to connect people and bring people together. I mean, I know our production team was just at a LAN and they've been, busting their rump just doing everything they can behind the scenes. So again, shout out production. It is appreciated. You may not be on camera, but what you put on camera is certified gold and it is appreciated. Run me through Abyss a little bit because I've been a bit out of step with Valorant. I
Mm.
rage quit, rage uninstalled, and rage reinstalled so many other times. It's hard to keep track. What is Abyss going to look like for these teams?
Well, it's it can be rough. We finally have a Valorant map where you can actually fall off the map and die. Um,
Mm,
but it
what a
is
concept.
I know, right? It is it could get interesting. It feels I hate to say it personally, I'm a bad player,
Mhm.
so take this with a
Grain of salt.
bucket of salt.
Got it.
Um, it feels a little like Ascentish to me. It's two sites, pretty clear mid lane.
Hmm.
The mid lane does have a massive gap in the middle of it, so that's always interesting to play around. Um,
Gotcha.
yeah, and it is it's a great map. There's some doors to break, like just like we have on that come from mid into one of the sites,
Hmm.
and it's a very Astra heavy map from what I've seen in pro rotation at least.
Gotcha.
Um, you always run Sova, you always run Omen. That's
Hmm.
just very very meta heavily. It looks like we have our players getting in a lobby here. We should be starting
Yep.
very quickly. And yes, I can confirm first map is in fact Abyss. Um,
Wonderful.
yeah, it'll be it'll be a definitely a solid fight.
I'm looking forward to it. The thing that's always irked me with Valorant, and the reason for those of you watching at home why I've always been so irked at playing it, is just the footsteps and the noise control that must happen
Oh,
in this game. It's like I feel like I am using a walker. I'm walking so slow, and that's their top movement speed. I can't do it. Especially that's the COD brain rot seeping in. So I
oh yeah.
apologize. Where you have to be sprinting a million miles an hour every time you spawn in, and it's just rinse, dry, repeat. But with Valorant, it's really about patience and timing, less so than a lot of other competitive FPS shooters. Valorant is a lot slower pace, at least from what I've seen. I know there can be
Oh
some
yeah.
intense rounds where everyone converges on a single point, and then it's just guns blazing, shots going down. God knows what else as we get loaded into the map for round number
Awesome.
one, map number one of this best of three. It's going to be a good time. And like you said, we do see that Omen and Sova right off the rip
Yeah.
as predicted.
And there's
So,
Astra. There's Astra from the other team as well. And
mhm.
Cypher, I
Oof, I
expected just as much. Cypher has some interesting trip setups. They're especially on some of like the jumps over gaps in the map.
mhm,
If you get hit with a Cypher trip, you just kind of get stuck and fall off the map.
mm,
Since it does kind of like it like grabs hold of you a little bit. It's
yeah,
they start interacting real weird when you're in the air, which you usually don't get a lot of in Valorant
mhm,
because you're not flying off ledges all the time. But
no,
it'll be interesting. We have from Crane, that's going to be a KO pick. I like this. Hopefully, we can see some nice lineups coming out.
we
Obviously, yeah,
absolutely
you're right.
should.
We got the Omen and Sova.
Mhm,
It's interesting from the other team though. It's a instead of KO, we have Gecko. Gecko recently just went through a bunch of nerfs as well.
mhm,
Um, so Island hopefully has kept up. I mean, as a collegiate player, I guess that's kind of his job.
mhm,
So
yeah.
he'll keep up with that. But
I'm
yeah,
sure
it's
they are up to date on all the
yeah.
nerfs, buffs, everything changing about the operators that they are using. I cannot stress to y'all how annoying a cipher is to go up against.
Well,
At least as a poor player such as myself, I was I was being tagged by a cipher cam or whatever it is an ungodly amount of times, and just for the life of me could not find where it was, and was just losing my marbles. So
they're
I give all the credit into the world for the people who can play this game and play it on a regular basis. As we are finally loaded into our first match, we get into our buy phase. This pistols rounds, you typically don't see people purchasing much of anything. Of course, my foolish cod brain always buys something in the
This
first
goes
round.
here.
As we see Cypher getting set up, as we get things underway.
Yes, this should do.
and yeah, it's looking like they're gonna be running a
Oh, this is a
UNCW
nice
is gonna be
spot.
running a 1-3-1 split. One on A. Cypher's gonna put all his util, well, as much util as he can buy,
Hmm.
down on A site. That Cypher cam covers most of it, and he's got a trip down, stretching the diagonal span between, coming into A there. Starting off the rounds, Seekers is gonna sneak up really far up mid, along with, their Sova. And we're hearing a looks like a fast A hit, stopped off by an Omen smoke. That's gonna delay for a little while. But that Gecko finds a little bit of utility in there. And Crane, KO gets a nice headshot on the jet. Sova Cam spots him out. Finally killed out by
Spike
Gecko.
planted.
The Wingman's gonna get the plant. That pop flash coming through. Not a pop flash, a long flash. He didn't clear left. Gets the kill. No! Smallest, yet he takes out two. It's a 3v3, but all of the
enemy
attackers are
remaining.
damaged, and Sova finally goes down. The defuse is coming out. Seekers gets a nice 2k. That might have been more than a 2k. Seekers,
Spike
yeah,
is
2k with the Sheriff, and they're going to let him have the ult orb. A very fast round. Wow, that was a lot to process very quickly.
Yeah, I mean, a very efficient, offensive heavy round, and UNCW came out swinging. I mean,
That
you got a
goes
couple
there.
players dropping a solid amount of damage, and then of course C-Curse with that twofer as they
goes
start
here.
to buy. Looks like we're seeing some long rifles come out, the DMR, and some submachine guns. No Vandals just yet, no ops. I don't think they have the money for anything like that yet, but they're trying to set themselves up for success early. And so
Seekers has an
Seekers-
outlaw. Hoping to find one.
Stay
Hits
down.
the second shot. Lucky that that jet didn't have a shield. Cypher locking that down. Seekers dashing away from that finally. Can't tag the Astra on the way back, but it looks like his teammate was there to lock it down with the Guardian, having another rifle there. This SMG, Omen with an SMG from long range, he's gonna get recon darted. Seekers just trying to find another pick. That Astra's still sitting there, only got a classic, but I do believe the entire enemy team had classics last I checked. Omen spots one long, and it looks like they're going to try to execute. Cypher moving the way up. Seekers on his third. That outlaw is doing heavy damage mid, and the final two
One enemy
are starting to
remaining.
execute B, but one is taken out by that Cypher Philosium. Looking great, and gets the last. A flawless rounds from the UNCW Seahawks. Phenomenal.
Yeah, it is truly a great round for UNCW, carried by C-Curse right now on a 5-0 tear. Philo right behind on 3-0, with only Crane and Brodo dropping deaths so far. UNCW is on a hot
Here.
streak. We'll see if they can keep it up in round 3. I mean, I just don't know what's going on with Kettering. They need to bounce back. They are struggling here early in this game and just allowing UNCW to stack rounds as we get that shock dart early from Silva. Here comes the peak. Hit
Right here.
Seekers with the opening kill once again. Beautiful job from Seekers thus far.
We see an interesting play here. Bruno still has a Spectre with an SMG. The attackers are on a full buy, but they all have Vandals. And if they lose this round, Seekers still with the Outlaw. They're opting to, keep their money up. And Seekers still locking down mid. Kavi is a phenomenal duelist. He might get some contact mid here soon, and he does, taking out that jet. Sova's still locking down B, which is where Gecko is headed alone with the spike. If he gets picked off here, he is spotted out by that Sova.
Right here.
It is Owen has a fight, gets taken down, the Vandal through the wall. And now everyone's going to start to rotate as Gecko goes in for the plant. Astra smoke off up top, but they're got the spike down trapped there. It is up to the attackers to come and find it. Cypher pushing his way on the
30 seconds
site,
left.
getting ready for a swing, and Seekers finally goes down. Cypher sneaking in the box, grabs the spike and starts to plant. Gets the kill. Island on 3 now. It is
Spike
up
planted.
to our Frodo and Archaeo, who I believe is Encrane. Yes, it is. To make this work. Encrane finally able to pick up a Vandal here. And I do think
Cover going out.
Frodo is... Yeah, he picked one up too. It is getting low on a plant.
more
Takes
meddling.
one out. What have they planted? Over on the other side there, he's going to try to sneak around here, catch someone out. It's a 2v2. Encrane taps
One
spike,
enemy remaining.
teleport back, fully swinging in. Hoping his team wins that fight, going for the defuse, and Encrane finishes it off. Brodo finding the defuse. Does he have time? It looks like it. Yes, he does, easily. Wow, 3 rounds in a row. Everyone should be on a full... No, not everyone should be on a full buy next round. We're going to see probably some sheriffs come out for our enemy team here. That was another explosive ending to our 3rd round.
Yeah, and a really incredible job from Brodo and Encrane to clutch that up in the 2v3. So what we were saying earlier, that mid-round adaptability, how are they going to focus up? How are they going to lock in? D-Curse, your hard carry so far goes down, and now you're left to pick up the pieces. And now picking up the op, going to be able to do a bit more damage than the Outlaw. Gotta just be careful not to lose that. You invest heavy in the op, and now players beginning to fight on this left-hand flank. Then Crane tries to get set up, tries to get a pick. The recon bolt gets taken down. quickly being surrounded. Jet with the ult, gets one, trying to get some more, give her two. E-Curse pushing in, being real aggressive, runs out and gets one more, but unfortunately goes down. And Crane there is the finish. My goodness, what an ego chow from the Jet there. Absolutely disgusting 4th round for UNCW.
That was so bold. I have nothing else to say but that was not something that should have happened.
Well, we
Someone
just
should have
witnessed
spammed them
it.
out through that smoke to stop it.
It don't matter.
Didn't
Just
happen.
too powerful. See, Curse is cursing this team straight to the depths of Davy Jones' locker. Mark my words.
Oh, nerf chamber. Seekers is gonna be opping down B now, but it looks like an A execute. 4 on A. It's still a 2-2-1 split for our defenders, but they've invested 4 into A main. Brain fart. Kettering. Kettering's invested 4 into A, and they're all gonna get scanned by that. Oh no, that is
tough.
unfortunate. I don't know why they're swinging off of their abilities being suppressed. Crane just manages to miss that headshot, pushing heavy into sight. That's Gecko's Dizzy's gonna be taking it out. And the Jet doesn't check behind her. Crane's gonna take that down. We have 1 up top and Omen behind the smoke. Seekers couldn't get the clip he wanted, but it was unfortunate. A large fight coming out here. Astra using that wall, using World Divided. Gonna start spam out. Astra using her pull to stop the fuse. And we just have to play through the smoke. They can spam through that smoke. They have a ping on their spike. And the Astra Eagle's gonna come out. We're gonna try to stick it, not even able to get half. And wow, Kettering's able to get their first round. That is a beautiful use of util. They've been saving up ults just for that. Astra, a phenomenal job. Wonkin really put in the work there. Even though he's 1-5 right now, that is exactly how you use Astra util on A site here. Getting the win. It is just unfortunate that Seekers couldn't hit his little jump into the middle of all of our enemies and try to op clip, but sometimes happens.
Well, yeah, you get a little ahead of yourself, I think, and you ego chow with an op pushing where you know multiple players are. You don't expect to, go down immediately, maybe get 1 kill, but like again, if you're running an op, maybe not try to quick scope. Again, COD Brain Rot coming in. COD is not the game plan here. As Sova grabs first blood. Get things started off. 40 going for the plant, getting set up. So we see Brodo trying to pop shots through the smoke. Owen here looking for anything. He's able to spot 1 in the mid lane on Bravo as they try to get set up for the defuse here.
Oh, Sova ult coming out to try to cut off a defuse. It's already down to a 1v3. Seekers putting in work again. This should be the end of it. Brodo getting in through the smoke. Seekers had that clip. That's a kill steal in my opinion. But, is what it is.
A team win is all that matters at the end of the day. Right. You can steal and take all my kills regardless of what's going on. I don't care what's happening. As long as we get the win, do whatever you want. That's what I care about. A team win is a win, period. So... Clips and everything are fun. I get it. You're up 5-1. You're 5-1 in the season so far. You're going up against a 2-4 team. You're going to be a little cocky. I get it. But never underestimate your opponent. They thought it was going to be an absolute slaughter. But Kettering was able to get at least 1. So, don't count them out just yet.
Yeah. And it looks like Kettering is sticking with what's been working for at least 1 round, investing 4 into B and leaving their Cypher going to the left side of mid. We do have our Cypher and Omen. Omen and Owen. A little tongue twister for us to deal with there. To stick on mid, but they're going to start rotating back as Kettering gets the plant. Owen goes down, a sneaky flank from their Cypher, and hopefully, no, not able to trade that out. Philosium gets 2 and finally gets picked off. we have to deal with that Cypher up top, and we do so phenomenally. Crane, KO pushing out, and we catch him out on the side. Seekers not able to find kills. Crane gets the flick, and the Astra Wonkin putting in the work to shut this rounds down. Another round for Kettering. It is a burst of battle every time this happens. Well, and it looks like maybe Kettering's found a little bit of a stride.
Potentially a bit, but I have a feeling UNCW is just going to bounce back like they have. They took the first 4, dropped 1, were able to recapture.
Let's hold position.
And we'll see if Kettering can finally build some momentum of their own. I think all UNCW has to do is just get back to what they were doing for the first 4 rounds, lock in, and stop playing with such ego. And again, Seekers has that ego to push with, though. Gets the 2-piece like it's nothing, darts back, and it's just absolutely dominating his Jet right now with 10+ kills already, if I'm not mistaken, sitting at round 8. As, again, it's already a 5v3 thanks to Seekers, who is doing the heavy lifting thus far.
Yeah, absolutely. We have a little fight mid. Seekers is gonna get jump peeked and push up, hoping not to get spammed out through that box. They might have think he ran away a little bit. He's gonna push up even farther, ego check it, and lose. That is so unfortunate. That's gonna give Cypher the ult. He's gonna know where everyone is. It's a 3v3 and Spike is planted. Again, back on B site where they are comfortable. Keeping their Cypher util A, we might want to switch that up eventually. Owen swinging in fast, but Smallest Yeti gets a quick 2K. Philosium doing the exact same to bring it down to a Cypher 1v1, but that's so unfortunate. Potato takes out Philosium, the better Cypher in this interaction, and Kettering is slowly but surely catching up to the Seahawks.
Yeah, they're still a bit of a ways away, I think. Again, they're getting a couple of lucky rounds. I'm never trying to count out the underdog in the fight, but they still have a lot of momentum that they need to shift in their favor. Luckily, they have their bye phase, and we see Vandals across the board, so they're definitely going to have the advantage in the gunfight. But with the way Seekers is playing, hopefully if Seekers can play a little bit better with their team, they know they're a duelist and they got to be a bit more aggressive, but they need that team support because we see them ego chow constantly, and it's starting to be a bit of a detriment to the team right now.
Seekers has a great flank, able to pick off 1, but we invest 3 people into it. Astra's just gonna pick them off one by one. They swung each individual. And they kept watching it. It's already a 1v4. This is almost a guaranteed round as Jet ult. I mean, we're up against 3 players and with a Jet ult. That Jet ult gets shut down real fast, though. Oh my goodness. He's picked up a Stinger. He might be able to get some use out of that. No util left either. You know, he's already been tagged as well. His team must be screaming at him, "You have a Stinger," but he's feeling confident with the Sheriff. Not confident enough, though. Smallest Yeti is absolutely putting in work right now. 4 to 5. Is this the comeback Kettering needed?
I mean, potentially they're gonna make me eat my words, and that's just the way the cookie crumbles. But there's still a lot of Valorant left to play. This is only game 1 of a 3-game set, so it is far from over by any stretch of the means. But a solid bounce back for Kettering. I mean, it's really not what I was expecting, especially after they dropped the first 4 rounds to bring it within 1. I think UNCW is struggling on that adaptation part. They were doing so well with it, and we see Seekers pops the ult right at the start for the 1-tap fadeaway. My goodness, just absolutely deadly as Jet. Seekers now going on a tear, waiting to strike as we pop back to Crane. Seekers going for this flank, trying to just get another one. I mean, they consistently grab that first kill, which already puts UNCW in such a great position. But Ken and Crane and company protect this A site as they stack up. Gonna be interesting to see either way.
Looks like they're waiting out the Omen one-ways. They're blocking off A main. Owens finally found his way around to the flank. He still has that Gecko to deal with, who's sitting in their spawn. I mean, KO Knife's coming out. They're looking stuck in A main right now. We have our Sova going back to check B, make sure they haven't gone there. They haven't making a lot of noise in A main. They've avoided all the detection util. So they're making sure they're still there. We're pretty sure someone might just need to jump peek this. Omen's gonna keep throwing out smokes.
30
We have one up
seconds
top. They're slowly walking in to A. The first contact kicks our KO down, and he's probably not gonna get picked back up. But Roto finds one and straight it out, and Seekers a quick 2-tap. He's on his third, starting to stabilize KO at the very last second, and manages to do so. Island's gonna take him out though. Seekers with a 4K to switch the momentum back in the Seahawks' favor. Absolutely wonderful. That is how you delay with an Omen smoke. The one-ways into the delay smoke, into the delay smoke. They just sat in A main and couldn't do anything. I don't know why they didn't decide to just give up and leave at that point. But, you know, sometimes that's just gotta happen, right?
Well, I think they knew they were gonna have to contend with a Jet ult either way, and it just wasn't gonna be pretty, especially in Seacurs's hands. I mean, if we just look at the scoreboard, they're at 19 and 6. The next closest player has 10 kills, and they're on UNCW as well. It's just a slaughtering at the hands of Seacurse. Looking like Davy Jones out here is absolutely despicable. The movement, the gameplay, the rotations, the ult use, just all of it is going in favor of Seacurse right now with an incredible KD. And now Brodo grabbed the first kill. Philo grabbing another. Smallest able to get at least one trade, but it's a 4v3 early and not looking too good.
That's huge. Valley is able to grab a kill with that classic. That puts them, you know, helping out the ego rating. We're gonna find the Cypher ult. We know where they are. It's a 2v1. We're gonna KO knife him as well, just for good measure. He's gonna try to, you know, shock dart a little bit, see if he can kill Brodo with just a lucky shock dart. And he's grabbed the spike, started the rotate, but maybe we can catch him out mid if we're fast enough. No, we're just gonna choose to fully rotate ourselves as well. And no one's turning around. No one's even thinking, nah, he might still go B. Well, it's gonna be a late fight. Recon dart deep into past A. Is it gonna scan anyone? I don't believe so. Smallest Yeti has a 2v1 to win. He's gonna push up aggressively and not get it. Roto, 3K this round, shutting it out. The Seahawks momentum looks like it is back.
Last round in the half.
Yeah, and that is mainly thanks to Seekers at 19 and 7. They didn't do a whole lot that last round, but it's really Seekers who's been carrying this team. I mean, it's getting the majority of those kills, doing a majority of the damage, just slaying out, especially when they grab their ult. It's just, pardon my French, it's damned impressive, and it's a absolute incredible thing to watch. We'll see if Smallest Yeti can bounce back from, or at least assist. They're the only player going positive currently for Kettering. And they're going to need to do a lot of Olympic-sized lifting if they're going to try to mount some sort of later half comeback, as not looking too good once again. Owen gets the info on the Owl drone and is looking for some more shots down mid, as it's an aggressive push from enemy Jet. Now Owen gets that spot and dart, recon dart, excuse me, and Vandals are out. No one going down yet, but Zova weak. Seeker's able to pick up one, so gets that trade. It's a 4v4 now.
Smallest Yeti looking for a fight. Valley's gonna take out File. Owen taking out Smallest Yeti gets with just a timing play. Wonderful. He has the Sova ult. Gonna pop it very early, sending it down through mid. Not able to, I don't know if he tagged anyone. It looks like Potato's gonna start planting B. It's a 2v2.
Spike planted.
Oh, N-Crane pushing up hard, trying to find a kill. Not able to get the flick, but no kills out at all.
Revealing area.
The recon dart out.
Last player standing.
Not spotted. N-Crane's gonna find Island. And all they gotta do is tap Spike and pick off the swing. All they gotta do is hold Spike and pick off the swing at this point. We're gonna see some KO knives come out. They're not sure which side he's on, but they have a decent idea he's there. The trade comes out, and Crane gets another 3 this round. Gonna pick up the defuse. He's only 2 away from ult. Wow, that is trade after trade this round. but it finally
Switching
comes out.
sides.
Not finally, it's coming out in the Seahawks' favor. 8-4, wonderful.
Well, yeah, you see they allowed him to get close, bring it within one, and then just shut him down entirely, and they're going on yet another, 4-game tear, or at least attempting to. They're not going to let this team build any more momentum than they already have. They get reset back down to pistols. We never understood that. It's just like, let's just keep it going. It's like, no, we need a fresh reset. But again,
No.
COD brain rot seeping through into the Valorant
Nope.
gameplay, and I apologize to the viewing audience at home. Either way, Seacurse looking to build upon their already dominant game with
No.
UNCW as Smallest Yeti and company
Nope.
try to stay alive in this series. It is not looking too good for them, though, as UNCW is locked in. And Crane trying to grab this ult point, get that much closer to being able to use theirs. No, apologies, it was the reset, so they don't have any of those points anymore, if I'm not mistaken. Please correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, no alt points for anyone here. It's a fresh
Spike
round,
down mid.
and it's not going well for UNCW right now. We have Spike down in mid. It's a 2v5. Make that a 2v4. Philo finally finding one. Oh my gosh, Crane, hair trigger reaction time. Sending a long flash into mid. Tova, he's heard those footsteps, surely. Just in a KO knife, just a double check. Spots him, he knows he's there, but he's grabbed Spike. He wants to get the hell out of there. We're gonna see a fight real quick.
Cage triggered.
Cypher cage up to block up top. Camera into Link to make sure they're
Last
gonna
player
tap that
standing.
glance. But Wonkin, I don't know if that was a collateral, but it was at least two quick shots in succession. Wow. Able to pick off both very quickly. That's gonna shut it down. That was a great round for Kettering.
BYB fam.
Well, yeah,
Going to
Wonkin
Astro
was just
to them
lurking
Astro
on the
Guardian things I
objective
do.
and was just playing their time over by Bravo. Didn't want to peek out, was waiting to hear that spike get planted, and then peeked out, was able to get a quick and easy 2-piece. So it's just it's a beautiful, beautiful job of showing patience from Wonkin and company as they are able to buy and get set up. As we see them now starting to prep their smokes and their stuns. We see how well they can respond now as UNCW tries to get set up.
Fast push
player
through vents,
standing.
sprayed
Spike
down by
down
Smallest Yeti and Potato.
Flawless.
I'm not sure what the hell we're trying to hear. Rushing it with classics on the anti-eco. I mean, we knew they were gonna have SMGs, and we funneled ourselves into the tightest point in the map.
Here. Here.
I
think it
cannot
was just
tell
a
you
gimme
what's
round
going
because
on.
you see it's a gimme round. They all have pistols. They weren't buying. They just threw it away, and now everyone buying full armor. Everyone buying a Vandals except Crane, only buying half armor if I'm not mistaken. But still, now you'll see in this round.
Stay safe.
I'm gonna call it for UNCW already because they bought all Vandals for a reason. They expect to play aggressively, but maybe not all stacked up in the same place like fish in a barrel this time.
Yeah, I'm still not sure. It looks like they didn't even try. It's gonna go smoke up top for Seeker. Comes in, picks off one. Spray down by Astra. Not able to get a Vandal. That Vandal's still sitting up top. That's decent for us. It's down to a 3v4. Valley stuck up top in that Omen smoke. Might try to peek out. Crane's gonna turn around, make sure there's no flank coming out. And we caught him with the Cypher Cam. Valley cut out. Roto picking off one. Potatoes down. And Valley able to get a good shot on our Cypher. Still a
3v2.
decently even game. Especially if you get the pick here. Yes, Smallest Yeti spraying it down. 2v2. And they have sight. Looks like Kettering has sight
enemy
control.
remaining.
But we have the ability to spam them off the spike. UNCW 9-6, only 3 rounds needed left. This will be interesting. Everyone should be able to full buy now. It should be an explosive round we're about to see.
Yeah, it should be a fairly interesting one. And just going back to my earlier point, you see a team fully buy Vandals or Phantoms, it's going to be a bloodbath and in favor of UNCW because they've just been the better gunfighters behind Seacurse and
Eyes up.
Philo. They've just been absolutely dominant, or Philo, excuse me, absolutely dominant with their gunfights. And like you said, 3 more rounds to go. Favors looking like it's going to UNCW. They try to get set up once again on Bravo with an early push. But they're already getting compressed with the smokes. Got to be careful here. Seacurse pushing up, trying to get the flank. Stay close, pushing in through mid. Quick trades happening in and all around, and it's going to be UNCW who get the better of it in a 2-to-1 trade.
And Crane is locking down that flank on the back ends. And Seacurse, no smallest Yeti's there. Here's the audio. Potatoes up top. Seacurse is going to get smallest Yeti. Sova is out of the question. That recon dart is not an issue anymore. It is 3v1. We'll see if Potato pushes into this. It looks like he is. He's in link right now. But the site is locked down. He has to play out of his mind. That's not it.
Seacurse is just too locked in. They take it to double digits first. And Seacurse rises to 23 for 11, folks.
Wow.
Absolutely dominant. And again, smallest Yeti trying to do everything they can. The only one going positive on their squad thus far in terms of KD. Meanwhile, you got more than half of the team for UNCW rocking a positive KD. And luckily, Seacurse just slaying out in Abyss and sending Kettering to the Abyss. They need just, what, 2 more rounds, is it? First to 12, if my memory serves me right?
Yes. First to 12. First to 13. Something like that.
12 or 13.
There is an overtime. There's an
Call of Duty
overtime
player.
feature as well. Right. Seacurse getting really aggressive. We're gonna use the KO ult to, force them back maybe just a little bit. Awkward gunfight there, but we're gonna have Seacurse come out on top. It's a 3v4. Encrane's gonna start the plant. One's up top. That Omen smoke is fading. And
Quick trade.
trades here and there. Plant's gonna come down. Calm down just a little bit.
I know
That Cypher
exactly.
Cage is gonna give them a little bit of time. We're gonna know where they are. We know they're both pushing from the same spot. We can hold that. Seacurse is gonna jump up on these boxes.
One enemy remaining.
One off and get traded.
Philo's there for the
Philo's gonna
save.
get the kill.
11-6. Yeah, that's just easy play, easy trades. You secure the win regardless, and Seacurse understood that. Distracted up top, and then Philo's just able to easily rotate. It's the 1-2 wombo combo punch, as Seacurse is rocking a 2.0 plus KD with 25 kills. Vandals all in hand, and it's pretty much almost all she wrote for this one. Is I really think UNCW is locked in. I don't know if they're going to give up another round, but I really, really doubt it to this Kettering squad, as they have just been absolutely dominant throughout this Abyss matchup.
Yeah, we see a full rush down, defensive rush down mid. This is not a strategy I've seen before. They're going to get pinched right here.
Enemy kill.
Seeker's going to take out one. Astra's blinded. Seeker's getting the knife. Proto and Crane onto Valley.
Yeah.
And
Vandals
Yeti,
out, slaying out.
Spike down mid.
well, down to
One
a
enemy remaining.
2v1. A lot closer. It's just a really aggressive, fast fight mid. Potato's stuck in vents. He has to make noise to break this. We'll see if he can catch someone off guard.
One enemy remaining.
With Cosma gets the kill. There's the trade, though. Owen in the right place at the right time. And there you have it, 12-6, one
Match
more round.
point.
We're on match point. Looking to put it away with impunity. A beautiful, beautiful job from Yeti. Again, doing everything they can, but sadly just not enough. Potato was able to at least pick off one, was able to take down Philo, but again, Owen was just right there to clean it up. And it's just, it's unfortunate Valorant timing. You rotate out, you get the drop on one, and of course, there's another player right around the corner, because the audio in this game, you hear someone even take a baby step across the map and you'll hear it. And now you have to worry about a jet ult in the hands of Seacurse, and it's not looking
Always
too
terrifying. And we have three. It looks like we have 3 alts in the UNCW side. The enemy side, the Kettering Cypher also I wouldn't say wasted, but it was wasted. They're all at the end of last round. Seekers, real aggressive here. Looking to find that Gecko. Swings this. He doesn't find a kill. Wants to get around. Small Yeti played real calm for the really aggressive Sea Curse that just jumped around in his face. But wow.
Just gotta be careful. You gotta be real careful with the Jet ult. You know, you can be almost insta-killed with it, essentially, and then they get a fresh set of knives. Quick peek, they get a hit. Only 2 knives remaining. Gotta be careful here. Try to time their shot right. Unfortunately, whiffs it and has to go back to the judge. Gets up close and personal and still able to get the trade. You'll love to see it as Sea Curse keeps it 4 apiece for both sides. And now an aggressive push into Bravo, trying to get set up as Brodo looking for an angle. They take up the high ground.
That Astral Ult's huge. This gives them a lot of control over sight. But Brodo there to start shutting that control down. They're not going to be able to hear them tap that spike through the Astral Ult. They don't know he's defusing right now. He might be able to sneak it off, and he does. Wow. Able to pull a victory from the jaws of defeat there. Owen's able to pick out Island and then bury another round there, but it's a little too late. We have we have 2 ults. We have a Gecko ult available for Island over on the Kettering side. That could be a really interesting way to play as well. I'd like to see what comes around to that, but more importantly, we'll see if Sea Curse can drop 30. That'd be a wonderful highlight if we can see.
Oh, 100% if they're able to grab a 3-piece this round. I think Owen just had some poor timing on his Sova ult to protect the bomb. It was a solid defuse from Potato. It's just, again, right place, right time. That Astro ult really coming in clutch. Sea Curse getting up and aggressive. Quick headshot on objective. Quickly taken down. Lunkin with a solid 2-piece getting traded out. Yet again, it's a 3v3 already on Bravo. Not looking too good if I am Kettering as they try to get set up. Nice teleport from Brodo. Avoids the Sova ult and now trying to smoke out. Sova and Jet able to grab a 2-piece. It's a 1v2. Can Brodo Baggins carry the ring home?
Direction. Smallest Yeti's gonna finish this out. Wow. This is a
Not what I was expecting.
push. This is a
Not
last
what I was
push from
expecting from Kettering, but a valiant effort to say the least, pun intended.
Yeah. Well, it's gonna be, I believe, just full buy. Not full buy. Kettering's still looking a little short on economy, but we're a little short on economy too. Actually, this is a very broken round. We're short on shields, able to buy full vandals though. They're looking pretty good on shields, but not buying the best guns. Long recon dart from Owen coming out real early. Astra might get caught up in that and does. Not spam through smoke all the way. But we're really hoping for a love tap there. Jet v Jet. No one comes out on top just yet. That's a ego swing.
Here.
But Brodo plays it safe and gets the nice calm collected kill. Sea Curse. There's backup. Keeping his eye out for anyone on the swing. It's a slower push now. We're reconsidering all our options. Just walking calmly around the map, making sure no one hears us. There's a lot of utility down from Cypher on A site, but that KO ult's gonna clear all of it out. That is huge. A smoke up top to block out Sova. Wow. Sea Curse looking for that secret shot.
Spike
Might
planted.
find it here quickly.
Yeah, he's got to be careful.
It
when the
does.
smoke goes down.
And that Omen smoke finally starting to fade. Sea Curse jumping headshot. Lands and gets the pick. Potato.
Did they get the 30 bomb?
I know exactly
I
where
believe Sea
don't
Curse hit the
know.
30 bomb. I thought they got 2 kills this round. Maybe needing 3. It's a 4v2.
The dodge!
Brodo with the teleport off the map. Bounce it back. Fade away. My goodness, we're doing trick shots now. 4v2 is again trying to push in. Brodo Baggins
One
protecting
enemy remaining.
on OBJ and Crane taking out Island. And that is
Attackers
all
win.
she wrote, folks. Brodo Baggins carrying it home. Much like the One Ring being carried to Mount Doom. And the Doom has struck for Kettering here on Abyss. Whew. What a first round. What a first match. What a beautiful job from Sea Curse and Crane to carry that one. I cannot hear my co-caster. I apologize.
Mic was
Think
muted.
w-
We're all good now.
You gotta be kidding me. If we need to
Happens to
mute,
the
you
best
let
of
me
us.
know. So now I'm just talking and yapping for no reason, and then I feel caught out.
Ah, ah.
It's
Hate
okay
to
though.
do that to you.
No, we're fine. We're fine. It's all good. First match under UNCW's belt. They got the W 13-6. C Curse with a 1.46 KD. Absolutely nasty. Just nasty stats all around.
Yeah, I huge shout out to Brodo. That very last round, just holy, that he saw the Gecko ult incoming, didn't want to get stunned by it, jumped off the map, teleported back on
Mm-hmm.
to save
Crisp,
himself from dying
clean.
by jumping off the map, dodged the Gecko ult, and snuck around for the final kill to end the game. That's going in a highlight reel if I've ever seen one.
Just to clarify, this percentage, KAST, that's kill assist percentage, correct? So on 80% of all kills, Seacurse was involved? Is that what I'm getting at here?
I am not entirely sure, actually.
I would hope so, because that would make sense.
That's
They
a
were
nutty
all over
stat
the
if it
map.
is.
The movement, everything was crisp and clean. If production could let me know, just because, again, I am a Call of Duty player, folks, and I'm still learning the ins and outs of Valorant as we speak. But either way, a headshot percentage of 30%. If you're hitting a headshot basically every at a chance of every 3 shots, it's disgusting. Just absolutely disgusting.
I mean, that it's precision aim. It's a little tip tap tap. That's why we can't spam guns in this game. You got to just tip tap, and all of them got to be headshots, or else you die. Unless, well,
That's
not
how
in
it
my
feels
lobby.
sometimes.
Not in my
That's how
lobbies.
it feels sometimes.
I'm a hard stuck iron player, but you know,
Well,
we'll see.
whatever's below iron, I'm that.
Nothing.
And then whatever's below iron, put whatever that rank is, times it by about, or divide it, I should say, by about 5, and then I am that rank. I'm dirt. I'm dirt rank in Valorant.
Paper bag 2. Yeah.
Pretty
If
much.